Chancellor Merkel, members of German delegation, my colleagues, members of the media. It is a great pleasure to welcome Chancellor Angela Merkel and her eminent delegation to India. On behalf of the people of India, warmly congratulate Germany on the 25th anniversary of German reunification. At this important milestone, you can look back with pride on what you have accomplished at home and abroad. Chancellor Merkel, your leadership is a source of confidence and reassurance at a difficult moment for Europe and the world. You have chosen to visit India despite many concerns in your region. The strength of your delegation reflects the importance we attach to relations with India and the seriousness with which we approach the intergovernmental consultation. Your commitment holds the key to progress in our relations. So thank you very much. The mechanism of intergovernmental consultation is certainly unique, and it has brought about all-round growth in our relations. In addition, in the course of the past year, our two sides have deepened our engagement. We see Germany as a natural partner in achieving our vision of India's economic transformation. Germany's strengths and India's priorities are aligned, and so is our mutual goodwill. Our focus tends to be on economic ties, but I believe that in a world of seamless challenges and opportunities, India and Germany can also be strong partners in advancing a more human, peaceful, just, and sustainable future for the world. We have a rich history of engagement. We share values, comfort in our relations, and a sense of responsibility to the world. Today, we have met for around 3 hours. We will continue our dialogue here and in Bengaluru tomorrow. I was very pleased with our discussions and the broad range of outcomes. German response to our development agenda is very encouraging. We can look forward with confidence to increase investment, trade and technology partnerships in manufacturing infrastructure and skill development. German engineering and Indian IT skills can create the next generation industry that will be more efficient, economical and environment friendly. 1,600 German companies in India and growing in number will be strong partners in creating a global workforce in India. German cooperation and assistance in areas like smart cities, clean Ganga and waste management have taken a concrete shape. So as our cooperation in education, from engineering to humanities, I admire German leadership in clean energy and commitment to combating climate change. This is an area where we have convergence of views and rapidly growing cooperation. We have agreed on India-Germany Climate and Renewable Alliance with a long-term vision and a comprehensive agenda of combating climate change. I place great value on Germany's assistance of over 1 billion euros for India's green energy corridor and a new assistance package of over 1 billion euros for solar projects in India. We also intend to deepen research cooperation in clean and renewable energy and energy efficiency. To contain temperature rise, we must also change our temperament. We look forward to a concrete outcome at COP21 in Paris that strengthens the commitment and the ability of the world, especially of poor and vulnerable countries, to transition to a more sustainable growth path. Our partnership will also grow in areas like defense manufacturing, trade in advanced technology, intelligence, and countering terrorism and radicalism. These are important security dimensions of our expanding relationship. I welcome Germany's strong support for India's membership of the International Export Control Regime. As we discussed in the G4 summit in New York, Chancellor and I are committed to pursue reforms of the United Nations, especially the Security Council. We have a common perspective on this region, the turbulence in West Asia, Europe's challenges, and shaping a peaceful and stable Asia-Pacific and India-Ocean region. I especially thank her for Germany's invaluable support for peace, security, and development in Afghanistan. Finally, a very special word for gratitude to Chancellor Merkel and the people of Germany for the return of the 10th century statue of Durga in her Mahishasur-Mardini avatar from Jammu and Kashmir. She is a symbol of the victory of good over evil. This also suggests that in this age of transition and turmoil, India-Germany partnership will be a force of good for the world. It is a saying common to both our cultures that friendship is a plant that needs to be watered. I am confident that after this extraordinary session, the tree of our friendship will blossom. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
May I now invite Her Excellency Chancellor Merkel to deliver her statement.
Ja, sehr geehrter Herr Premierminister, lieber Herr Modi, meine Damen und Herren, ich möchte mich erst einmal im Namen unserer ganzen Delegation für die Gastfreundschaft bedanken, mit der Sie uns hier aufgenommen haben, auch für die intensiven Gespräche während der Regierungskonsultationen und die vielen bilateralen Gespräche. Wir sind sehr gerne nach Indien zu den dritten deutsch-indischen Regierungskonsultationen.
During the intergovernmental consultations and also the quality of the bilateral talks. We have come to India on this occasion of the third intergovernmental consultations. We believe that that is a format that has proved itself and that underlined and underscored yet again.
Hanover Fair, you presented your Make in India initiative, and in between the Hanover Fair and my visit here, that is, we made best possible use of the time, and I think that this is borne out by the fact that we've been able to sign so many agreements here. The economic relations are obviously of great importance. They bear testimony to our dynamic relationship. We are very gratified to know that representatives of our SMEs are very welcome here in India. We already have 1,500 German companies that are working here in India, but you are ambitious in your targets, and you said you invite more German companies to come here, and indeed they will gladly, I think, take this up. I was very glad that we were able to sign this fast-track agreement here today, so that the speed with which you provide licenses to companies to set up business here is increased. I think that's a very important point to our businesses. There were a number of areas where we agreed, of other areas where we signed agreements, greatly enhancing our cooperation, not only in the economic area, but also in the scientific field, the technological field, in vocational training and education. I am very glad that you accompany me, and thank you for this, to where we visit Bangalore and the Bosch subsidiary there. That is a very good example of such vocational training schemes here in India. We would like many other companies to follow suit, also Indian companies, to learn from this model, because we know how many young people here in India need highly skilled jobs. After all, you have a very different demographic development from Germany here. 25% of our people are below the age of 25 years. It's 50%, and India obviously is a much, much bigger country. So we believe that particularly as regards digitization of industry and the great experience that India has in the software area in digitization will help us as regards setting up Industry 4.0, this growing together of the world at large. And I think that there is great room for further common projects. India is #1 country for development cooperation schemes. It shows where the priorities are, the potential for further development, but also that there is still quite a lot to do. Energy cooperation is very much in the foreground, particularly exploring and developing rural areas is very much on our agenda, which is borne out by the cooperation schemes of both the Ministry of Agriculture and the Ministry of Economic Cooperation. We know that living in cities is very nice, is very promising, but sustainable development can only ever be ensured if you are not neglecting the development of your rural areas, and here I think Germany can indeed do quite a lot in order to help you. On climate agreement, I was very gratified to know that we were able to come to an agreement here as well. In leading up to the COP21, India has announced its own INDCs, but we have underlined time and again, Prime Minister, that climate protection also needs to be embraced by the people. The people also have to reap a benefit from this, and here too I think Germany will be able to help you, to support you. That too is a very good message emanating from these intergovernmental consultations. At this point, I think we also ought to outline the agreement on cooperation on solar energy. Again, that is most important for the rural areas and for providing affordable energy to them. We work together in combating terrorism, cybersecurity, defense, arms cooperation. Here too, our cooperation is based on a very broad foundation, and we also, as you know, on a voluntary basis, we're able in the cultural area to hand over the Durga statue. I think that is of a very great importance to people here in India, and it also brings home to us the sheer variety of culture and civilization here in India, and also how old your civilization is. And I think it will also go a long way to bringing our civil societies a bit closer to each other. Learning the German language, that agreement that was signed, is also part and parcel of that. And we, I think, on the German side have been dealing with Sanskrit. We have a lot of scholars who are interested in that. So then we have a number of foreign political projects. For example, Afghanistan, as you mentioned, Prime Minister, we are somewhat concerned. If we look at the security situation in that country, we want to learn, we want to work towards stabilizing the country, towards bringing this country to internal peace, even though we obviously have to contend with setbacks. But we, as members of G4, there's 2 of the countries that make up this group that are trying to seek a permanent seat on the Security Council. Well, we were taking stock when we met in New York of the whole gamut of foreign political issues, and I think it brought home to all of us that the world is full of conflict. And India and Germany both are working for diplomatic and peaceful solutions and political solutions to these conflicts rather than military ones. And this is why we are going to continue to intensify our cooperation also in this area. Thank you very much. Intergovernmental consultations are very good in that you can prepare them very intensively, but we said we're not going to take a break for 2 years now until we meet next, but we're going to continue to work very hard, that you continue, our working levels are going to cooperate and also are going to be candid with each other whenever they feel that somebody has thrown a spanner in the works and where things are not going forward. We will try our utmost to then again make the process run smoothly. I think that's most important. So these intergovernmental consultations are one core cornerstone of a continuous cooperation. We wish India every success, because if I look at the ambitious agenda, Prime Minister, you have set out for your government, I can only say we wish a good and prosperous development for you and for your country.